Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to make this tunnel card, and then we're going to do some masking. I'm going to show you how I did that. But this is the tunnel card. When you open it up, it looks like that. Isn't it cute? So we're going to do the masking, and then we're going to make the tunnel card. I'm using the Share What You Love designer paper, and I'm using Whisper White for both layers for the tunnel card, only because I ran out of this paper. And you might remember this is the Share What You Love designer paper, and on this back side is the one that I use for this, and it looks like suede to me, but this is all I have left of that designer paper. So I'm just going to use 2 pieces of Whisper White, all right, and I'm going to show you how to make this card. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to grab our paper trimmer, and you're going to need 2 pieces of Whisper White, or in my case, when I made my card, I used a piece of the Share What You Love designer paper and then a piece of Whisper White. So both of your pieces are cut at 5.5 by 8.5. So this is the full-size piece of cardstock, which is 8.5 by 11, and I just cut it in half. So you're going to do 2 pieces, and 1 piece of the Whisper White we're going to set aside. This is the part we're going to do some stamping on. But then the front of the card, which is what this section is right here, the designer paper, we're going to score this. So we're going to score it first at 2 1/8 on both ends. Or you can score it at 2 1/8 and then slide it down to 6 3/8. Then you're going to slide this down to 4 1/4. So you're just going to score it in half. Okay. So this part here is going to make your tunnel part of your card to pop out. So next we're going to grab our big shot. Okay, so this is our big shot, and now we're going to cut an oval shape in the center of our tunnel card. So this is the 4 1/4 inch score line. Hopefully that's showing up. This is the line we're going to focus on when we're cutting out the oval shape. So here's my ovals, my layering oval framelets, and we're going to take the largest oval, and you're going to center this so that score line is right in the center of that oval, as close as you can get it anyway. I'm trying not to put my head in the camera so I can see if this is, that actually looks pretty good. I'm just going to scoot it down just a little bit. All right, so that looks pretty good, so let's go ahead and cut that out. Alright, so this is our oval shape for our cutout. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the big shot. Okay, so now remember we set aside the back part of the whole card. So this part has not been scored or folded. So this part we're going to take and put right on top of that back piece. And we're going to take a pencil and we're going to outline this oval shape. This is going to be our guide to know where to stamp for our animal outing stamp set. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do some masking. So let me show you how I did that. We're going to need some Post-it notes, and I'm just going to take the sticky part of my Post-it note and I'm going to stamp my animal so the Post-it note is towards the top. So I'm just going to show you what I did here. So I'm just going to take the kangaroo. I'm going to take some Memento ink, and we're going to stamp the kangaroo like that. And the reason I'm using Post-it notes is because the cardstock is slightly thicker than the Post-it note. The Post-it note is really super thin, and it makes it really nice for masking. Okay, so then next I would just go ahead and hand cut out this kangaroo as close as I can to the image. Okay, so you get the idea. So you want to cut out the images, and I went ahead already and did all that. So what I do is I keep all the mask in the stamped case. So they're right there. So I know that this giraffe and the kangaroo and this rhino all match up with the images because I've already done them. Okay, so what you're going to do next, you're going to take some repositionable adhesive, and I just get mine at Staples, and you're just going to add a little bit more to the back side because sometimes that Post-it note isn't enough. You just need a little bit more. Okay, so you just want it enough to stick down over top of your image. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp our first image. I'm going to stamp the kangaroo first. So I'm going to use my oval here as my guide, and I'm going to ink up my kangaroo, and I'm going to stamp right there. So now remember, when the tunnel card is actually open, you can see around the oval, so you don't have to worry about, you know, stamping outside of the lines. It's just you want to keep it somewhat centered with this type of card. Okay, so the next we're going to take our Kangaroo Mask and we're going to lay this right over top of that kangaroo. Okay, and then we're going to take our next image, which is the rhino. Okay, and we're going to stamp this right about there. Looks good. Okay, then we're going to take that mask and mask that and the little bird, because there's a little bird sitting there. You don't want to stamp over him, so we want to cover that all up. Now we're going to take the giraffe. We're going to stamp him right in the middle. He's so cute. Just like that. Okay, then next we're going to take another mask of the giraffe. Cover him up, and then we're going to take the branch with the little tiny frog sitting on the branch. He's so cute there too. So plus with the giraffe being higher, I think it looks like the giraffe is eating the leaves off the tree, which is so cute. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp that right about there. Okay, so now this is the magic. So when you remove all the mask, it's going to look so great. So we're going to remove the mask the way we put them on. So the giraffe was the last, so we're going to take the giraffe off, then the rhino, and the kangaroo. Oh, look how cute! Isn't that adorable? And it looks like they're all like standing in front of each other, and then the giraffe is in the back. I love it. So that's the really fun technique called masking. And of course these masks will go right back into my case, and I'll be able to use them for next time, so I won't have to cut them out again. Okay, so now this would be the time to color your images. And on my card, I'll tell you here, because I'm not going to color this image right now, but I use the Stampin' Blends for the front and then also the inside. And I use the Daffodil Delight, the Old Olive, Smoky Slate, Crumb Cake, and then for the spots on the giraffe, I use the bronze. And then for the little bird, I use the Calypso Coral with the Bermuda Bay. And then the little frog got Old Olive too. Isn't it cute? So then I did the exact same thing with the oval on the front, but instead of going vertical on the inside, I just took it horizontal. So I could put this You Are Wonderful, which is from the Rooted in Nature stamp set. This is actually a 2 of 2 stamps because it's a larger stamp set, but there's the You Are Wonderful. So that's what I put on the front. And then for the inside here, I stamped the Wild About You, which is from the Animal Outing stamp set as well, and it's right here. So what I did is I stamped that, and then I just cut apart the 3 words. Okay, and then I just kind of staggered them on the left-hand side of the card on the inside. So cute. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and erase our pencil line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, you might remember too that we didn't score this piece of cardstock yet because there was stamping, and if you ever scored on a piece of cardstock and then tried to stamp over it, the images do not get stamped really nice and crisp. So that's why we're going to score the cardstock right now after we've stamped. So let me grab my trimmer. Okay, so we're going to score this in half at 4 1/4. Okay, and we're just going to fold this in half. Okay, so this is going to be the outside of our card, but it's going to be for the tunnel part to show through on the back side. It'll all make sense here in a second. Okay, so we're bringing in the tunnel part of the card. Remember, this is the Share What You Love designer paper that I used on my sample. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold the card in half first. And then we're just going to fold the panels back on themselves. There's one, and then this one over here gets folded back. Okay, so now this is going to make your tunnel part of your card, so you can see it now how it's going to work. Isn't that great? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on these 2 outside edges here. So I'm just going to fold this over, and I'm going to put adhesive. I'm going to take this edge here, we're going to line those up. And then this side over here, I'm going to put adhesive on. And then this one we're just going to fold over the card just like that. So this is going to make your tunnel card. Isn't that awesome? Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So let me show you the finished card. Okay, so here's the finished one. The masking and the tunnel card. Isn't it cute? Oh, I love it. So I also did this masking on another card, and if you visit my blog, you probably already seen it. So let me grab that. So here is the card sketch that we did, and I used the masking technique too. And I told my viewers that we were going to do a video on the masking technique. So I kind of combined it with the tunnel card and then the masking technique. So hopefully you learned something with the masking and then also made a really fun card. All right, so I'll have all the items listed below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.